wherever you'd like to sit. Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could find a seat, we'll get started. At this time, I'd like to officially begin our ceremony today. If you would please stand for the entry of our cadets. If you would remain standing for the posting of the colors and the singing of our national anthem.
Color guard, attention!
Attention to the colors!
Carry colors!
Present arms!
Forward, march! Color guard, halt! Center, face! Post! Present arms!
I'd like to introduce retired Captain John Rapp from the Colorado Highway Patrol for our invocation.
If you'd remain standing while we open in prayer. If you'd pray with me. Heavenly Father, we welcome your presence here today as we come to celebrate the graduation of each of these men and women. As they enter into the honorable career of law enforcement, I pray your protection over each one of them. May they be as shrewd as serpents and as innocent as doves. I ask that you put your mighty angels all around them, protect them, and give them great wisdom, knowledge and skill, courage and discernment, and good common sense. Help them stay alert and not become complacent as the job becomes familiar. Thank you, God, for their families who will hold them up in prayer and love. May they always return home safely at the end of their shifts. I ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, John. Good afternoon, honored guests, families, and officers from the many agencies across the Western Slope that are represented here today. Thank you for being here. I wanted to really quickly thank some of the people in the Academy and at the TCR that have made this happen, primarily Randall Palmer, our Executive Director, who's been a mentor, a leader, and a good friend. Without him, obviously, we couldn't have done this. Thank you, Randall. Next to Randall is Karen Gibson, one of our administrators, outgoing. We wanted to thank her for all her support and the time she spent with us there at the Academy. Thank you. CJ Cannell, Deputy Director at the TCR. Thank you, CJ, again, keeping us on track, helping us with the paperwork. Tony Bowling, our Financial Aid Director, has been instrumental in getting aid to some of these cadets and some of the other things we've done on campus. Thank you, Tony. The ladies up front, Lisa and Carrie, who's tell me no more often than not, but they're our financial people, so they pay my bills. Thank you. And our student services people, Christine, Lisa. Thank you. Again, Christine's up here on the stage with us because she's the first voice and the first face that these cadets see when they report to the Academy, and she sets us up for our class. Without her, we couldn't have a class. And then up here on the stage with me, John States on the end there is my firearms director. He's been a long, long journey to take that position, really a 2-year journey across Colorado to get the training that he needed to be Colorado certified to be our firearms director. And that's his 3rd state that he's reached that position in. So John is highly qualified, and we're very lucky to have him, and he manages the firearms for our cadets, all the shooting, and he manages the range. So most of you agencies in here that shoot on our range, he's the voice you hear when you call and want to use the range. But John has been instrumental in getting these cadets qualified and ready to go. Dan Hotzenpiller, our Deputy Director. Most of you are familiar with Dan. Dan's a former DA, former private attorney, and a current judge. And he teaches our law classes. Extremely well qualified, and we're blessed to have him with us at the Academy. He provides the majority of the instructions to the law and the classroom instructions to our cadets. Again, getting them ready to go to the field. We're pleased to have him. Christine, I talked about, and on the very end is Allison Willis, our program coordinator. That's a new title for her. And again, she comes from LA County Sheriff's Office, where she worked the streets of South Central LA. And we couldn't function without her. Over the past 1.5 years, 2 years, she's rewritten lesson plans, some of them 7, 8 times. She's our primary contact with Post. So when she calls Post, they listen because she knows what she's talking about. And when she commands the cadets, she knows what she's talking about. And she's, again, one of the first faces that cadets see when they report to the academy for week 1. And she handles most of the discipline, you can imagine. And we're lucky to have her. Thank you. So I'm going to start through these remarks that I have. You have to bear with me. I'm going to read a lot of it. I have yet to get through it without tears. It's very impactful to me, and as I get through this, you'll kind of understand that. So we'll begin. A few weeks ago, while the cadets were on the range, I had the privilege of traveling east, and we initially visited the 9/11 Memorial in New York, then the Flight 93 Memorial in Pennsylvania, and then on down to Gettysburg. And I brought several things home from that, and I'm still processing the things I saw, because as you can imagine, it's a very impactful trip. But in New York, deep down in the museum, and you really, as you go through that museum, you're in the footprint of those Twin Towers. And you go down in there, and there's fire trucks, and there's equipment, and there's all the things that they excavated from that site after the Twin Towers collapsed. It's in a museum. There's IDs and purses and wallets, anything you can imagine that we all carry every day. But something I saw there has really stuck with me and is really impactful to me, and I think about it very often. And among those items, there are 2 law enforcement sidearms, still in the holsters, but not attached to a belt. They're just 2 sidearms in a holster. They're damaged, scarred, dirty, but among those things. And those belong to 2 officers that entered those buildings that morning. That's actually 25 years ago this year. For those of us in this room that are wearing a uniform or who have worn a uniform, we know that an officer separated from his sidearm is a stark and it's a powerful thing. It is a silent reminder that some who answer the call will give, as Lincoln said at Gettysburg, the last full measure of devotion. 25 years ago this coming September, those officers rushed into those Twin Towers and up into that inferno without regard to their own safety. They moved toward the danger, compelled not just by their training, but by the character that drives them toward the people in need in those towers. And those officers lost their lives that day. Again, when I went down to the Flight 93 Memorial, I thought of that sacrifice again. And what is really sticking with me from that visit, among all the other things, is I read the account of a young Pennsylvania Highway Patrol trooper who was on a 2-lane state highway that morning writing speeding tickets. He was doing the everyday routine work of our profession. The next moment, he was standing on the edge of that smoking crater, and he had received 2 orders: check for the injured and secure the scene. And I think about that young trooper quite often. And that's the life that these cadets have chosen, a life where the mundane and routine can become monumental in a heartbeat. And suddenly you find yourself in a nationwide or a national tragedy, and you're managing that initial tragedy. Again, I think about that young trooper often. And to close my initial remarks, I would add a Bible verse that we're all familiar with, Isaiah 6:8. Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?" And I said, "Here I am, send me." I'd like to take this moment now to introduce our keynote speaker, Sheriff Mark Taylor. I'm not going to go through his bio. It's all in the program. We all know Sheriff Taylor. I had the honor of serving with Sheriff Taylor when I arrived in this valley in 2011. And he welcomed me and my family with open arms, gave me whatever I needed, offered whatever help he could to our family as we relocated, and partnered with us. Again, I came here as a trooper, so he opened his offices to us. His officers were our partners out on the road, and I truly cherish the moments I got to spend with Sheriff Taylor. Sheriff Taylor.
Well, good morning. So before I start, I want to take advantage of being up here on the stage and take just a moment and embarrass one of my employees. Hope, do you mind coming up here? So Hope Wagner came to work for the Sheriff's Office in March of 2021. Before she came to work for the sheriff's office, she worked as a custodian for Delta County. I would see Hope every now and then. She was always friendly. She seemed very shy, timid, reserved. Shortly after that, the jail administrator, Captain Cano, had a detention officer position open. The captain came to me one day and said Hope was planning on applying for the job. I asked the captain, "Who is Hope?" He said, "Well, she's the custodian." And I said, "No way." So Hope was really timid. We saw her. She was always friendly, and like I said, she just didn't seem to fit the part of a detention officer. It takes a certain kind of individual to work in and succeed in a jail setting, and I didn't think Hope had it. Well, the captain was pretty insistent and wanted to hire Pope, so I told the captain, just keep an eye on her. Well, Hope very quickly showed me I shouldn't judge people so quickly. Hope very quickly proved she was a badass, actually. She has flourished in the jail setting so much she earned a scholarship to this academy. Just a quick story about Hope. She was helping the nurse during med pass, and an inmate became uncooperative and in fact punched the nurse in the face. Hope never missed a step. She got a hold of that inmate and contained him, all the while her male detention officer backup took off running down the hallway. Hope stayed in there and contained the inmate until her backup could arrive. Hope took decisive action and contained the inmate until help arrived. It's not enough. A few weeks ago, Hope and her husband's house caught on fire and burned almost everything they owned. She was in class at the time of the fire. While talking to Hope at the scene, she mentioned she would be in class the next day. I told you Hope was a badass. Thankfully, Director Hilling was more than understanding and allowed Hope to take care of her family and return to work or class the following week. Hope, I'm proud of you. You've proven to be, your commitment, your initiative, and your perseverance is inspiring. Thank you. You can sit down. So I want to thank Executive Director Randall Palmer. He's been a longtime friend and a supporter of the Delta County Sheriff's Office for many years. He's also a supporter of law enforcement in general. I want to thank Director Brett Hilling for inviting me here today. I also would like to thank the staff who put in a ton of time and energy putting this graduation together. Let's give them a hand. So this graduation ceremony marks a monumental transformation from citizen to protector. To the families gathered here today, you are not just a witness of this milestone. You are the backbone of the officers standing before us. Your support was the why during their 18-week-long nights studying and the grueling days of physical training preparing for this moment. So here's my message to the families here today. Today, we don't just welcome new officers, we welcome your entire family into the law enforcement community. Your sacrifice is their strength. While these graduates have trained to hold the line, it is you who have supported them from behind it. We recognize that law enforcement family often pays a high price. Sharing in the emotional weight, long hours of the job in law enforcement, we hear all the time. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it being a cop. Law enforcement can be very demanding occupation, and yes, difficult at times. Mostly very rewarding, though. I can tell you with 100% certainty, being married for 38 years myself, yes, to the same woman, being the spouse of a law enforcement officer is the most demanding and difficult job in the world. Not knowing what the nights will bring, not not wanting to discuss what they saw, what they smelled, and the trauma they experienced. Very demanding job. The power of your presence will be their sanctuary. When your spouse returns home from shift, where they have seen the worst parts of humanity, your home is where they find peace and purpose. I encourage you to give them 5 minutes to decompress, then ask yourself what's important now. Is it what's important now to ask them to take out the trash, go mow the lawn, or is it 15 minutes with you and the kids supporting each other? After that 15 minutes supporting each other, then tell them to go take out the trash. Every time your loved one puts on a uniform to protect a total stranger, they carry your values and your love with them. You are the reason they strive to make it home safely every night. It truly is a demanding job to be the spouse of a law enforcement officer, but if my wife can do it, put up with me for 40 years, I'm sure you can too. To the class of 26-1, you have chosen a noble profession. What does that mean? Nobility is recognizing the higher calling of law enforcement profession and honoring the trust placed on you by the public. One that demands excellence, integrity, compassion, and humility. You might be asking yourself, what does humility have to do with law enforcement? I believe humility is one of the most important values you should have in this job. Refusing to think more highly of yourself than you ought, putting the needs of others before yourself, and recognizing the debt owed to others for your success. It's very easy to put on the uniform, a gun, a badge, go to work thinking I'm the big bad popo. Practice humility. You're there to serve and protect. You will need to earn respect from your peers, your community, your employer. Respect is not demanded, it's earned. You are the guardians. You have risen to stand between good and evil, serving as protectors of your community. Don't worry, you'll have plenty of time, opportunity to implement the things you learned here at the Academy. Arrest control, defensive tactics, driving fast with all the cool lights and sirens, all the fun stuff. However, I ask you to remember why you are here, to protect and serve your community, and remember humility. In face of challenges, remember the faces of your family, the crowd that are here today. They are your greatest assets and your deepest motivations. I encourage you to ask yourself every day, what's important now? When you start your shift, throughout your shift, and on your way home after your shift, ask yourself, what's important now? So being the old retired guy up here, I think I've earned a right to give you guys some advice. When you get home after a long shift, dealing with the worst in people, sitting down and getting on your phones or playing video games, that's not what's important now. Hug your spouse, hug your kids, hug your mom, hell, hug your dog if that's all you have. That's what's important now. In closing, never compromise yourself, your family, your honesty, your professionalism. The trust of the community is built on one interaction at a time, and it's yours to uphold. As you leave this academy, be proud of the badge you wear, the agency you represent. It's a symbol of service to the community and a promise to your families who have sacrificed so much to see you here today and will continue to sacrifice throughout your career. As I stand here with you this morning, I'm at the end of my career and you're just beginning yours. My hope is that you will find an agency and a community that supports you and your families, and you are able to have a long, successful, rewarding career in the most noble of professions, law enforcement. Thank you and Godspeed.
I'm up. Character. Character. Human beings are really good at dealing with hardship and adversity. This crew here has gone through a lot of hardship in the last 18 weeks. But if you really want to test the character of a person, give them power. When we give someone power, we start to see the true character of an individual. And these young men and women today are going to be granted a lot of power. So we're going to see them tested and their character tested. When it comes to law enforcement, Sheriff Taylor talked a little bit about some of the words and the character that matter a lot. Honesty, truthfulness, humility, self-awareness, confidence, competence. But when it comes to power, it's really pretty simple. To reduce it to its basic component, it is the ability to exercise power without cruelty. That's character. Exercising great power without being cruel. Any glance at history, and we can identify lots of people who've been given or obtained great power and were pretty cruel or very cruel. Indeed, our current events, it's easy to think of people that fall in that category. Maybe your own lived experience with a boss, a commanding officer that had power but didn't have high character. And they wielded that power with cruelty. It did harm to others. So they're going to get tested. Can you teach character? Boy, I don't know. It's tough. And can we teach it in 4 months at the academy while we're trying to teach them all kinds of other skills? Basic law and how to shoot and drive fast and arrest and control people. I think that'd be a pretty tall order. We shouldn't give up. There's things we can do. We can model. We can model high character, right? And we should in every encounter. We can talk about it more. We can talk about it more, and we probably should, shouldn't we? We probably should. We should call it out when we see a failing of character, for sure, and impose consequences. But you can't expect a basic law enforcement academy in 4 months to teach character. It's just not really possible. There's a couple things that seem really obvious to me. I mean, one is our families, and building on what Sheriff Taylor talked about. It's those of you who are here today really that make the difference, aren't they? After all, what is the parent-child relationship other than the ultimate power relationship, isn't it? It's the ultimate power relationship. And as all of these folks grew up, they learned a lot from that power relationship. And was it power without cruelty? Let's hope it was, because that's going to be the start of a great character. But I think there's another thing we don't think about, and Sheriff Taylor, you brought it up too, and that is this community and the community that we live in. You know, police departments, sheriff's departments reflect their community, don't they? For sure. And so we make a big difference. And it is correct and right for us to ask, what do we expect from our law enforcement agencies? Do we expect high character? Because if we do, I think our agencies will reflect our communities. And I'm here to tell you, this is a pretty amazing set of communities that we serve at TCR, and they're listed on the back, and that isn't even all of them on the back of your program. This community, where's Carrie? This community. And do you know that this community has continuously supported law enforcement education since the 1960s? When only a few of us old retired guys were even alive, right? I don't even know if you were. I think you were. Continuously since the 1960s, this community has supported law enforcement academies and law enforcement education. And I don't mean just supported it by, waving flags on Armed Forces Day. I mean supported law enforcement education with their dollars, with their time, by having instructors share in the duties. That's amazing. And it is a reflection of your character. So I submit to you, even though it is pretty easy to take a glance at history and identify a bunch of people who haven't displayed very good character when they got power. And it's kind of hard to think of people on the other side of the ledger sometimes. But there's a place to start looking for those kind of people. Right here in this room. You find somebody in uniform in this room right now, I think you're going to find character. I know I have. Proud to be associated with it. And I think, I'm here to tell you, I've spent just a couple of hours with these guys. Just a couple. I think they're going to pass the test. I'm not worried about it at all. I'm not worried about any one of them. And I'm very, very excited to see all of you get tested and show us that you have the highest character that we want in our communities. Right? Boom! Thank you. There we go.
Thank you, Dan. I want to briefly talk about some of our awards and how those happen. As you can see up here on the table, those awards have already actually been awarded. When a cadet is the top shot or the top arrest control, those awards are given at the completion of that block because we kind of feel like that those instructors should participate in presenting those awards. So the cadets have received these awards with the exception of one that I'll talk about later. And Annie, thank you. So our top shot for firearms pistol was Cadet Timothy Durst, who's going to Craig. Don't sit down. Our top driver is Cadet Timothy Durst. Our top arrest control cadet, Cadet Ethan Twomley. For the top shot rifle, I'll tell a brief story. So in this class, I have 2 Marine Corps veterans who approach the rifle training like you would expect Marine Corps veterans to approach the rifle training. So our rifle course for the top shot at the end of that rifle training is a very difficult course. I'm told it's a SWAT course from Southern California. It's a SWAT course, a very difficult course. It's 50 rounds. So those two Marine Corps veterans approached that like you would expect. They each shot a 49 out of a 50 on that course. Cadet Mia Mordecai shot a 50 out of a 50 for our top shot. And I told them this morning that 30 years from now, when they have a class reunion, we'll be talking about the rifle qualification course for this class. For our academic awards, an extremely high academic process. We had 3 top cadets. In third place was Cadet Yazi Olivas. Did I get that right? Her GPA was a 95.90. Second place was Cadet Matthew Harville with an overall his overall GPA was 97.4. And Cadet Parker Kaiser is a he was the top academic cadet with a GPA of 97.96. And finally, for you, for those of us here that have taken the post-exam, I want to have an honorable mention to Cadet Matthew Harville. He scored a high of 90 on the post-test, which is phenomenal. So as we move toward the pinning and the recognition of our cadets, I really wanted to touch on a few brief stories about our cadets to give you some sense of this class. And as we've alluded to already, this class faced some hardship from the very beginning of the academy. For one, somebody was sick every week of the academy with the flu or a severe cold, and it worked its way through staff as well. And it was such an issue that they changed their class motto to "It's just an allergy." So we do have a cadet sitting here that this is probably the second most important ceremony he's going to go through this weekend. He's getting married on the weekend. That's Cadet Chase Talbot. Cadet Durst, who we've had standing already, during the academy, his wife gave birth to a little baby girl. And again, his family's in Craig, and he's down here at school. The baby girl had to be flown to Denver, critical. The mother was also critical for a short period of time. And Cadet Durst dealt with that in a way that just left us all in awe. He missed one day of class. And mom and baby are fine. They're here today to pin his badge on him. We talked about Cadet Wagner, who what she dealt with. I remember I was driving from Hotchkiss. I had to pick up some equipment in Hotchkiss, and Commander Burris from the sheriff's office called me and said, "Could you release Cadet Wagner from class? Her house is burning down." How do you answer that? So, and she called me that night and told me I'll be in class tomorrow. And we said, "No, you need to take care of business." So, and she did, as you can well see. A few other things. Cadet Wilford turned 21 while in class. Rumor is Cadet Harville also had a birthday that we're not going to share. Speaking of Cadet Harville, I had the honor of sitting in on courtroom testimony class that takes place in an actual courtroom here in Routt County, or in Delta County rather. And the cadets are directed to select a report that they had completed earlier in the academy during report writing and come in, and they were going to testify to that report, and they were going to be cross-examined by our deputy director. And while I won't go into details of Cadet Harville's report, I will tell you that it involved a farmer and a horse named Dreamcatcher. And I have it on good authority he received an order from a judge not to testify to that report in courtroom testimony. And I obviously know that he violated that court order. I wanted to point out a couple of other of our cadets. Cadet Tatman, Mejia Tatman, who's seated on the front row there. Wave, Cadet Tatman, thank you. Cadet Tatman, up until she started the academy, was a stay-at-home mom for many years. And we're truly awed that she chose to re-enter the workforce in this fashion. She attended the academy, obviously passed and did very well in the academy. And that says a lot about her character, that this is how she chose to re-enter the workforce. Congratulations. Cadet Mordecai, who is also a mom, enrolled in the academy, and as she was making living arrangements, she made the decision that she would just commute, and her home's in Silverton. So she commuted from Silverton daily for the entire academy. And fortunately, the weather cooperated and she was able to do that. But again, we're in awe of her commitment to not disrupt her family and her beautiful daughter that we got to meet a couple weeks ago, that she chose not to disrupt her family and make that commute. Good job. So we now come to a significant tradition, and it's a presentation of our cadets. This is a moment that honors the transition from student to professional, but it is not a journey traveled alone. Whether a cadet is being pinned with a badge today or presented as a graduate of this program, each stands here because of a foundation built on sacrifice, late-night study, and an unwavering commitment to the people in this room. That is why we've asked the families and their mentors, the silent partners with this achievement, to stand with our cadets as they receive their badge or to be presented. To our loved ones, as you present or pin these cadets today, you're validating their hard work and pledging your continued support for the road ahead. And to every cadet, look at the person that's standing there with you. This ceremony is a testament to your shared resilience. The badge and this moment of presentation belongs to all of you.
Fast, on your feet.
Cadet Matthew Harvell. Presenting his badge will be the Gunnison Police Chief, Sam Costello, and pinning him will be his wife, Laura Harvell. And it's ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to present Officer Matthew Harvell. Cadet Vashon Lusk. Presenting his badge will be the Gunnison Police Chief, Sam Costello. Pinning him will be his mother, Cassandra Singleton. Ladies and gentlemen, Cadet Vashon Lusk. And excuse me, Officer Vashon Lusk, sorry. Cadet Derek Neal. Presenting his badge is the Gunnison County Sheriff Adam Murdy. Pinning him will be his wife Kelly Nealdrum and his children Gail and Weston. Ladies and gentlemen, Deputy Derek Neal. Cadet Ryder Wilford. Presenting his badge is Montrose County Sheriff Gene Lillard. Pinning him will be his mom, Megan Wilford. And as you can see, his dad is currently serving with the Montrose County Sheriff's Office. Deputy Ryder Wilford. Cadet Parker Kaiser. Presenting his badge is again Sheriff Gene Lillard of the Montrose County Sheriff's Office. Pinning him will be his wife, Maggie Kaiser. Ladies and gentlemen, Deputy Parker Kaiser. Cadet Sheila Mejia Tatman. Presenting her will be her children, Jaslyn, Quinn, and Naya. Ladies and gentlemen, Shia Mejia Tatman. Cadet Danelle Yazi Olivas. Presenting her badge is Chief Travis Thompson of the Olathe Police Department, and pinning her will be her husband Johnny and her children Jordan and Analia. Officer Danelle Yazi Olivas. Cadet Timothy Durst. Presenting his badge will be the Craig Police Chief, Michael Cochran, and pinning him will be his wife, Jordan Harmon, with that brand new baby. Officer Timothy Durst. Cadet Cable Ricker. Presenting his badge will be Commander Rich Brown of the Steamboat Springs Police Department, and pinning him will be his dad, Caleb Ricker. Commander Brown and I served together when we both had hair. Officer Cable Ricker. Cadet Chase Talbot. Presenting his badge will be the Palisade Police Chief, Jesse Stanford, and pinning him will be his fiancee, Mari Gonzalez. Did I say that right? Officer Chase Talbot. Cadet Hope Wagner. Presenting her badge will be Sheriff Mark Taylor. Pinning her will be her husband, Derek Wagner, along with her children, Riker and Parker. Deputy Hope Wagner. Cadet Ethan Twomley. Presenting Cadet Twomley is Trooper Martin Barella, his brother, of the Arizona Highway Patrol. Ladies and gentlemen, Ethan Twomley. Cadet Derek Wright. Presenting his badge today is Hinsdale County Sheriff Denham W. Starnes. Painting him will be his son, Wesley. Deputy Derek Wright. And finally, Cadet Mia Mordecai. Presenting her badge is San Juan County Sheriff Steve Lawrence, and painting her is her mom and dad Sarah, or is her mom Sarah, her dad Carson, and her daughter Katrina. Deputy Mia Mordecai. So we have one final award that we give out. Early in the academy, the cadets are told that they will vote on a leadership cadet. We leave that intentionally vague. It's a cadet that has demonstrated leadership throughout the academy. The cadets are told that they'll vote on that cadet at some point during the academy, and that anybody sitting there could potentially win that award. So each of them has to write a speech in preparation for that award. Again, it's not announced. They don't even know today who wins that. We look at that as we look at, oftentimes in our careers, we're detailed to go to court. And you prepare and prepare and prepare, and you go to court, and they say, yeah, we don't need you. So that's the spirit in which we've done that. So the cadets, I have it on good authority. In fact, I know for a fact at least one cadet was still writing her speech this morning, sitting in her car. So they've all prepared remarks for this. And again, they vote, and it's a cadet vote. Staff has some input. We receive the vote, and we have some input. The cadet that was chosen for this came to us from another career, obviously, and I'm going to give it away. But during the academy, I was detailed to provide a cadet to the college to meet with some community leaders and really leadership within the community and some stakeholders for the TCR. and I detailed this cadet to go do that. And then I went down to observe. I sat in the back and observed her performance. And she got up and addressed those people in her native tongue, which is Navajo. So at this time, I'd like to present that award to Officer Danelle Yazi Olivas.
Oh gosh. Okay. So I want to start off by thanking all of you for being here. I'm truly honored and humbled to receive this leadership award today, to be recognized among such an incredible group of cadets means more to me than I can fully put into words. First and foremost, I want to thank God for giving me the strength, perseverance, and guidance to make it through this journey. I also want to thank our instructors and the Academy staff for pushing us beyond what we thought we were capable of. Your guidance, discipline, and belief in us helped shape not only better cadets, but better people. To my friends, thank you for understanding the lack of responses and the late replies over these past several months. Your patience and encouragement meant more to me than you know. To my family, thank you for checking on me, cheering me on, and reminding me to keep going even on the difficult days. To my husband, thank you for being my rock through all of this. Your support, strength, and belief in me carried me through moments when I doubted myself. To my kids, thank you for reminding me every single day why I am doing this. You are my motivation and my greatest purpose. Five months ago, 14 cadets walked into the classroom as individuals. I think it's safe to say that during the first week, many of us were wondering, what did I get myself into? But despite the challenges, the exhaustion, and the moments of doubt, we continued to show up and push through. There were days that we were physically exhausted, mentally drained, and questioning whether we could make it to the finish line. But this academy taught us something important. Growth happens when you keep moving forward, even when things are hard. Strength is built in the moments when quitting feels easier, but you choose to keep going anyway. Throughout these past 20 weeks, we became more than classmates, we became a team. We learned to lean on each other, encourage one another, and grow together. This experience has changed all of us. And I am incredibly thankful not only for the lessons we learned, but for the lifelong friendships we gained along the way. Class 2601, never forget what it took to get here. Every early morning, every late night, every stressful exam, every hard workout, every sacrifice, it all brought us to this moment. If we can make it through this academy together, then we are capable of far more than we realize. As we move into our careers, I hope we remember that leadership is not about rank or recognition. Leadership is about integrity, compassion, accountability, and serving others, even on the hardest days. The badge we will wear will come with responsibility, and every interaction we have has the power to impact someone's life. There will be difficult days ahead in this profession, but I hope we continue to show up and encourage and show up with courage, humility, and heart. The world needs officers who lead with strength, but also with empathy and humanity. Thank you again for this incredible honor. I will carry this experience, these friendships, and these lessons with me throughout my career. Ekahat.
Good job. And finally, as a tradition, the cadets typically have a presentation for the staff at the academy. Cadet Ryder Wilford. Actually, I think the class is going to present that.
I'm really surprised that they allowed me to be in charge of making this plaque. I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. I had Sergeant Guston with the Montrose County Sheriff's Office do all the engraving on it. I think it turned out really good. It'll look good on the wall next to all the other plaques. So that's all I got.
Thank you. Almost there. So as we conclude our ceremony today, I want to turn the attention one last time away from our graduates and to the people sitting here in the audience that have supported these graduates. To the families, spouses, the parents, and the children, you've already sacrificed so much just to get your graduate to this stage, and it's only just beginning. You've endured the late nights, the long days, the missed dinners, and we know today that sacrifice doesn't end, that it just changes shape as they move into FTO and out onto the road. Cadets, from this day forward, your life will be different. You'll become the people who stay awake a little longer. You'll be the ones who hear a siren in the distance or a news report of an incident on a lonely stretch of highway, and you'll pause. You'll feel the tightening in your chest as you wait for a text or call, just to know that your loved ones are okay. I guess I got that backwards. You people at home. And I always take a moment at this time to recognize my own wife who's here today. She put up with years and years and years of those late night calls or those calls from the ER saying, bring me some clothes and give me a ride home. I fell down again, or whatever it be. And without fail, she showed up with what I needed. So thank you, dear. To the rest of you, please know that we recognize that burden. We know that while these officers are out there protecting our families, you're at home holding theirs together. You're their bedrock, their sanctuary, and their reason for coming home safe. We owe you a debt of gratitude that a simple ceremony cannot never fully repay. And as I said, I would take this moment to thank my own bride. Graduates, if you please stand and join me in a round of applause for those who support you and have been here for you today. Class 2026-01, you're now part of a thin line that holds our communities together. Carry the weight of that badge with honor and remember the lessons of those who went before you. And as always, look out for one another. To our visiting agencies, thank you for being here to receive your new officers. To everyone else, thank you for joining us on this momentous day. That's going to conclude our ceremony. Duty Officer Harvell, would you please take charge of the class?